You hate Walmart? Me too. I actually don't like it. Now I'm not from a place where, like, you know, there are a lot of Walmarts. A lot of people say it's an American thing, but it's not really a city thing. It's a very suburban and rural thing. So I really never shopped at Walmart unless I was away. I was on a trip for some reason. And I always felt like Walmart just kind of sucked. It was okay. It was all right. But the place wasn't the problem. It's just a lot of the products were very, like, not that good. I don't know. It just feels like it's very barely passable. A lot of things that I've bought at Walmart broke apart instantly. Yeah, they target low income. I mean, it makes sense because they're genuinely just trying to make things happen for people in those types of areas. Like, that is the point, yeah. But I just never liked it. But I've always been the kind of person who doesn't buy a lot of stuff. I buy one thing that's nice and then keep it forever, you know? So I don't know. Really just depend on location, depending on what product. Yeah, you prefer Aldi. Aldi has kind of the same issue. It's the Vimes boots theory, right? Where, like, things that are made more cheaply so that they can be affordable for people also fall apart quickly. Therefore, they have to buy more and they end up spending a lot of money. But they can't afford that nice pair of boots that won't go bad in 2 months. They can't afford that one-time payment, so they keep buying the cheap ones over and over because it's what they can afford in that moment. And I feel like it just fucks people over. Yeah, it's expensive to be poor. Exactly. There are certain things where it makes sense to do that and other things it doesn't. But yeah, I feel like, you know, then when I go to a place like Walmart or Aldi, I feel like I feel that in person, you know? Like, it's facing me. Now, yeah, you don't need to go to Whole Foods to buy your fancy kale. Like, it does not matter. But certain things just fall apart. I don't know. Like, genuinely, not everything that is expensive is good quality. But if you do put money down to buy a good quality clothing item, and it's something basic, it's something that won't go out of fashion, you can have it almost forever if you take care of it, you know? So certain things like wearable stuff are good to put more money down in and just own less of it. Great. There are other things that just doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, like jeans, work boots. If you need a good pair of work boots, like, you're so much better off trying to put money into that of all things. But there are other things where it doesn't matter so much. Like t-shirts, who fucking cares? You know? Buy the cheap ones and run through them, you know? You can buy new ones and have them forever, yeah, but if you're gonna have to pick and choose between things, you can only buy one expensive thing. Probably go for, like, a nice jacket, not, like, a nice t-shirt, you know? You learn the hard way to follow washing instructions. You know, I several years ago started paying way more attention to that. One of my cousins works in the fashion industry, and I was in her house, well, her apartment at one point, and she was, like, doing laundry as we were talking, and I was watching her air dry everything. She had a drying rack, and she was being really meticulous with how certain things she laid out flat, other things she hung, etc. And I was watching her do it, and I was like, you're really meticulous with that. Like, what's it doing for you? You know, like, is this because you like it? And she was talking about different fabrics, different textiles, which she knows a lot about, so I trust her on that. And she was like, yeah, you know, these sorts of things I can dry, these other things, never put in the dryer, ever. Always do this, blah, blah, blah. You know, these sorts of things always lay flat to dry, never hang them, etc., etc. And I kind of already, like, knew it wears it down, but I never thought about it critically and decided to, like, air dry stuff, right? You know, I just never really went for it. And I always owned a good number of natural fabrics anyway, once I got into my adult life. So the dryer wasn't that bad on a lot of my clothing. Even so, I started just being like, you know what? All right, I'm going to do it. I said for a month, I'm going to, like, air dry everything and not really use my dryer except for maybe some blankets or whatever. And so many things that I take better care of last so long. So long. Even cheaper stuff, if you just take really good care of it, you know? And it's not really that time consuming to just lay things out. It's really not. Put them on a drying rack and just hang them. It takes an extra 10 minutes compared to throwing it into the dryer. It's not really much of a time commitment, and it genuinely has, like, helped a lot. And I'm frugal. I don't like buying clothing. I don't like owning things. I don't like replacing things if I don't have to. And yeah, it's just helped so much, especially things that have any sort of printing on them, like t-shirts that you buy, merch, VTuber merch that have printed whatever's on them. Not putting them in the dryer is the greatest thing you could do. Genuinely. Does that apply to bedding too? Anything, any fabric, for sure. Reminds me of the dishwasher. Yeah, some things you just don't want to throw in there. And, you know, I started like, I'd say a little over 5 years ago, especially. Maybe more than that. Wait, how long have I been streaming? 4 years? Yeah, probably like another 4 years prior. Maybe like 8 years ago. I started becoming really mindful about that stuff. And I have had enough time now to sit here and really feel and notice the difference. Anyway, some stuff is worth buying expensive, some stuff is not, but in general, be like me and own like, I don't know, 5 clothing items per season per category. 5 designated peak of summer hot weather shirts. 5 designated anywhere between 70 and 50 degrees shirts. 5 that are for cold weather. Boom. Do it like that with everything. Easy. And then I have a one separate drawer just for t-shirts, because everything you do ever gives you a t-shirt. And I just have one t-shirt drawer, and I wear them sometimes. That's it. You know what would be terrible? Getting stabbed. You know what would be terrible? Falling off a cliff. Oh, I don't want to eat this food. You can deal with it. Nut up.